Bonnie Jean. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay, now we're recording.
Okay, so
All
my dear friends, Shabbat Shalom from the Old City in Jerusalem. In the next, I would say 30-40 minutes, something like that, we will have to end before Shabbat. We're gonna have a quick tour in the Old City. And where in the Old City? So let me take you first exactly to our tour, exactly where I am right now. So actually I'm here, right here. I'm at Shar Zion or Zion Gate. Okay, and we'll say a few words about Zion Gate. And we will try to summarize, I don't know, 3,000 years of Jerusalem in the next 30 minutes. I know it's going to be a challenge, but we'll try to handle the challenge as much as we can. We will go from here, okay, and we'll go all the way down to the Jewish quarter. Okay, I'm going to show you the Jewish quarter, and from there I have a beautiful lookout right to the Kotel, to the Western Wall.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So are you ready?
Yes.
Good. So this is the entrance. This is one of the 8 entrances of the 8 gates of the Old City of Jerusalem. And I will approach the gate because I would like you to see how the signs of the bullets from the wars that we had here are on the wall. I'm going to show it by finger. I will start my review in, let's say, 1948. Okay? And in 1948, the Palmach actually entered Shar Zion, Zion. And here we have, so I'll try to translate it quickly. Basically, they're telling us here that May 18, 1948, the Palmach entered Zion Gate because they tried to save the Jewish quarter. The Jewish quarter was under the Jordanian authorities, and they suffered. They didn't have anything to protect themselves. They didn't have any food or any water, and they were really in a bad situation. So the Palmach tried to help them, tried to bring them whatever they need so they could survive. And here you can see the sign of the Palmach. Okay, and unfortunately, we all know that during 1948, they didn't reach the Jewish quarter in the Old City, and we suffered some loss over there. Okay, so I hope you can hear me, and I hope you can see me. Good. So give me some feedback, so I'll know that we're all good. Okay, so now we're gonna have, I would say, a 5 minutes walk. So please walk along with me. I went in, and this is the Zion Gate Street.
Wow.
Right here. Okay, and we're gonna have not more than 5 minutes until I'm gonna reach the Jewish quarter. Okay, so enjoy the blue skies, enjoy the vendors. If you want me to get you something, let me know. I have some pretty cool stuff here.
David, the sky is absolutely breathtaking.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Okay, so why everything is closed? Because we are in the holiday of the Ramadan, actually. And a lot of the vendors here are Muslims. So they have a holiday actually in those days. And that's why most of the vendors are closed. Okay, so now I'm going towards the Jewish quarter. And while we're going towards the Jewish quarter, I would like to tell you that my presentation today will tell the story about what happened here in 1948 with the Palmach, which I did a few minutes ago. But as well, we're gonna talk about 67, because in Sheshet Hayamim, the war of the 6-day war, that's where, not like in 48, we were able to liberate the Jewish quarter and to get back to the Western Wall after 2,000 years. So that will be the second part of our meeting today. So as you can see, a lot of traffic, a lot of people are coming over to have Shabbat, a lot of families, a lot of kids. Even though, as I said before, we have some tension. I don't know if you follow the news, but we have some tension in Jerusalem in the last few days. But as you can see, life goes on. People are coming over, spending Shabbat, and that's how you beat terrorism. You continue with your life. You continue with your visiting your relatives, and you continue basically doing whatever you want to do, because if you want, this is when terrorism will win. Okay, so I'm 1 minute from the Jewish quarter, actually, and here it is. And this is where we're going to start our tour in the Jewish quarter. Okay, so I'm going to show you the sign. Here you go. Here we are.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Very good. So you need to understand, in 1948, okay, I'm going backwards a little bit. This whole region, okay, was under the Jordanian authorities, and they were pretty tough. They didn't, for example, one of the things they did is they didn't let, for example, the Jews to go and pray in the Western Wall, in the Kotel. And of course, for us, it was something unacceptable that they were attacking the Jewish quarter because they didn't want the Jews to stay here. They saw this quarter, as you can see it right here, as a part of Jordanian authorities. Okay, so can you imagine, we're walking here freely. I hope I'm stable with the camera.
You are.
Please let me know if I'm too shaky.
No, you're fine.
Good. And imagine we're walking here, you can see people are going now to the Bet Knesset, are going to prayer, are going to have Shabbat, have the final arrangements. And now we're walking here, as you can see, freely. I would like to stop here. This is a memorial that I would like to share with you. A memorial for Moshe Rosnek. Moshe Rosnek, the commander of the Jewish quarter, as you can see. What a wisdom, what a person, his beliefs, his leadership. And he was one of the people that were in charge, directly in charge, to save 1,800 people from the Jewish quarter, because we needed to save them. We needed to take them out from here so they can survive. So this is a memorial for him, and we'll Yehi Zichro Baruch, and we will share our respect to him. So now I will take you to the main main, I would say, plaza, the main plaza of the Jewish quarter. It's right here. So if you come to Jerusalem to visit, this is like the main place where people, gather on, drink something. Now everything, of course, it's closed because of Shabbat, but usually here you'll find a lot of tourists, a lot of coffee shops. And our next stop will be right here. And I would like to share with you the menorah. The menorah of the temple.
Oh my gosh, it looks so
So
good.
we all know what Titus took, right? After the destruction of the second temple in the year 70. So this is a reconstruction of the menorah, and it's right in the middle of this main plaza of the Jewish quarter. So we remember every time we go through this plaza, we remember what this is all about. It's all about the fact that we've been here 3,000 years ago with David HaMelech, 2,000 years ago in Beit Sheni, second temple, second period, and we're back.
Wow.
We're back. And this is what is so amazing about our people.
Crazy.
We're back, walking freely, independent in our city.
Amazing.
So now we'll continue our visit. You can see more vendors, more coffee shops.
Wow.
And while I'm taking you to our next stop, please, if you have any questions, that would be a good time to ask.
David, when did they put that menorah up? Or when did they, like, because I don't remember seeing that on my last trip.
That's a good question. I'm not sure exactly when they put it back. Check
Okay.
it for you. I can tell you that at least I would say at least 20 years, at least, because I
Okay.
remember going through this place and it has been here.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go now to our next stop.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed the sightseeing of the Jewish quarter.
Wow, this is crazy.
And okay, so that would be
Yep.
our next stop.
Okay.
There's a flag that people won't have any mistakes where we are right now. So this is a very nice alley taking us towards the Western Wall. People are actually living here. The Jewish quarter is booked out with families. There is no one single house. Okay, this is one of the that the Tzamchanim, the Parachu, and we'll get to the 6-day war in I would say maybe 1-2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, where is my entrance? There is my entrance.
Sound is kind of, your sound is funny. Waiting on your sound.
Okay, so now we are, as you can see, actually in our conference, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Okay, here it is. Here's the Kotel,
Wow.
Al-Aqsa Mosque. And now I would like to give you a brief explanation. We're going to move from 48 to 67, and basically what you see here is Jordan. In 1967, the Jordanians were right here, okay? Mesgad Al-Aqsa and El Omar, okay? They were all under the Jordanian authorities. So actually when the paratroopers, when the Tzanchanim are getting into the old city, they are fighting Jordanian soldiers, okay? So beyond the Kotel, beyond the Western Wall, where you see the trees right now, this is where Arabite, this is what we call Arabite. This is where the first and the second temple was. But the Tzanchanim came from the west side to the east side, and when they got into the Kotel, they were still needed to liberate. I hope you can see the flags, because from there were on the top of the, I don't know how to call it, but see like a little tower, you had Jordanian snipers, okay? But the paratroopers didn't know to bring down anything. They didn't want to bring down any holy places for the Muslims. So as you can see, it's intact. And a lot of guys were killed because of it, because you needed to go physically. You couldn't bring any tank or any airplane to bring down the snipers who were here in this tower that right next to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, while they were shooting the Israelis paratroopers in 1967.
Right.
So can you imagine the Tzanchanim are fighting here in this very crowded, tiny place, surrounded with Jordanian soldiers, and they are moving door to door, street to street, face-to-face combat to liberate the Western Wall. And this is exactly what happened. The paratroopers, the Tzanchanim had suffered a lot of casualties while they were fighting in the old city, in liberating Arabite. And then when we heard the words Arabite ve'adenu, which means the Temple Mount is in our hands. One of the, as I said, I hope you can see the flags. That is the place where the Tzanchanim, the paratroopers, put the Israeli flag when we liberated Jerusalem. Okay, so imagine that the Jordanians are where the trees, and of course beyond that are right there fighting back and trying to hold back the Tzanchanim. But as we all know, in the end of the day, the Tzanchanim went to the Kotel and liberated. And since then, we have free
free religious. Everybody can practice his own religious. The Muslim during the Ramadan, in these days they are celebrating the Ramadan. So they're coming here, they're celebrating the Ramadan. Of course, as you can see, Jews preparing themselves for Shabbat, praying in front of the Western wall, and of course, the Christians as well. Everybody can practice with full tolerance, with full cooperation of the Israeli government, of the Israeli authorities, not like I mentioned before. So when we're talking about tolerance and about coexistence in Jerusalem, please remember those pictures. Please remember those mosques right next to the Western Wall, right next to churches that are in, of course, if you would like to the Kotel, I will approach the Kotel as well, but I will need to keep silence because people are praying. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
In the next, I would say 6-7 minutes, I will approach the wall, but you'll forgive me. I will have to keep silence because people are praying.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have another, let's say, 4 or 5 minutes walk. And again, it will be a good time for any questions you might have regarding the war 48.
Your bandwidth is low. Your bandwidth got low. This bandwidth is low. Let me put my-
Regarding the siege on the Jewish quarter in the old city, regarding the
Sorry that I'm shaky right now. It's the stairs. You see, people are taking pictures, having fun. How you doing, guys? You okay? Let me see if security will let me in. I will put my kippah on. Okay, so as you can see, we have security here. אני יכול לעבור? אני באמצע שידור לאמריקה. יש לך משהו במשהו נתן? לא, אין לי כלום. תודה רבה, חבר'ה. לא, אין לי נשק. לא. תודה רבה לכם. תודה רבה, אני ממש מעריך את זה. Okay, so apparently I passed security without any too many problems. So for now, I will be silent for let's say 3-4 minutes, and everybody can pray a little bit. So enjoy those moments.
This is what Titus left us when Titus destructed Second Temple. That's all he left. And the Romans destructed the Second Temple. Okay, my friends. So I'm sorry for the air, but it's pretty windy in here. I would like to say Shabbat Shalom to you all. Thank you for having me with you this morning. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I'm sorry we need to finish, but Shabbat is pretty much getting in, and I won't be able to broadcast from here. A lot of course, religious people, religious sites. So I will be with you in the next, I would say 5 minutes. If you have any questions about the Romans, about the Jordanians, about 48, about 67, about what's going on right now in Jerusalem in these days, I talked about some, so we can have like an update, what's going on in Jerusalem. And this is it. So Tanya.
All right, so what's going on right now with the government?
Oh, you're talking not about the situation with the Arabs here, but about the Israeli government forming the government. I understand. So right now, they're trying to form a government. The president gave to Mr. Lapid the ability to have 61 seats, 61 supporters in the Israeli parliament, in the Knesset. And in the next 3 weeks, he will need to show the president that he has 61 people that agree that he will be the next prime minister of Israel. So he has 3 weeks to do it. And if he will be able to reach 61 members that are with him, that agree that he will be the next prime minister of Israel, so he will need to form this unbelievable coalition from extreme right parties like Lieberman, Yemina with Bennett, Saar, all the way to extreme left parties like Meretz, like Avoda, and of course, approximately 10 seats of the Arabs members of the Israeli. So I don't know how we can manage this kind of coalition, because as you can understand, you have a vast... Shabbat Shalom. Kol Tov, Toda Rabba. Toda Rabba. God bless you. So I don't know how he will be able to manage this kind of diversities in his own government when you have so many different people, so many different opinions about crucial topics in Israel life, in Israel society, in Israeli politics. But this is the wonders of politics, right? So apparently Netanyahu will not be the next Israeli president, the next Israeli prime minister, unless Lapid won't be able to form a government. And if Lapid won't be able to form a government, we will go to the fifth elections. Tanya? Anyone?
Hold on. Bonnie Jean, any questions in Rubenstein? Or Rob?
Yeah, I would like to ask David, whatever happened to the, I believe it was called the Blue and White Party, when Netanyahu and that party were going to split the prime ministership? Has that been nullified by a subsequent election, or is that party still viable?
Very good, because in the beginning, rotation, Benjamin Netanyahu and Benny Gantz. But then we went to elections. So agreement that with Benny, this is valid. It's not longer relevant. Why? Because we went to elections. Now, the blue and white party, Mr. Gantz, has now 10 seats, and he will be in the coalition with Yair Lapid. And as it looks right now, Mr. Gantz will continue to be the Secretary of Defense of the State of Israel, because he got 10 seats in the last 10 or 9, I'm not quite sure, but 10 or 9 seats. And because of that, and because Mr. Lapid needs his support to form the next government, so he will give him the post of the Israeli Secretary of Defense. So now it's a new ball game, actually. It's a new ball game. We had elections. The Kahol Lavan party dropped down from 33, and yet Mr. Gantz will be a part of the next Israeli government, and Netanyahu will not.
Okay.
More questions?
Bonnie Jean?
Somebody?
I guess not.
We're good. We have another 5 minutes, so we're good. We can continue to broadcast.
I have a question.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. Lydia would like to know, we're in Old Jerusalem. Is there a New Jerusalem?
That's a wonderful question. That's a wonderful question. Since 1967, the Israeli government didn't stop to support new neighborhoods in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem became a monster city, not less than that, with in-growing community, in-growing population. And Jerusalem keep on growing and growing to the north, to the south, and mainly to the west side of Jerusalem. We cannot extend to the east, we all know that, because in the east, what was Jordany until 1967, it's now, even though it's Arab neighborhoods, it's Arab villages, Shuafat, Abu Tur, all kinds of Arab communities, it's under the Jerusalem municipality territory. Okay, so actually, the mayor of Jerusalem is the mayor not only of West Jerusalem, but East Jerusalem and the Arab neighborhoods of East Jerusalem. But regarding how Jerusalem expanded itself and got bigger and bigger, It happened mainly, as I said, to the west and to the north and to the south.
David, is the mayor of Yerushalayim somebody that is respected by the Arab community?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
They give services to Eastern Jerusalem. If it's welfare, education, health, anything the Arab communities of Eastern Jerusalem need, they are a part of Jerusalem. And they have cooperation. Whenever people from East Jerusalem would like to enter Western Jerusalem or the west part of Jerusalem, of course, they need to go through security checkpoints, because during the Intifada, we had a lot of terror attacks who came from those communities, as I've mentioned, Shuafat, Abu Tur, etc., etc.
Next question is, will the next prime minister be more right-leaning, left, or somewhere in the middle? It's from one of my colleagues.
Well, because Mr. Lapid cannot form a government without Mr. Naftali Bennett with 7 seats, Mr. Naftali Bennett is he has a kippah actually, so is right from the Likud. If you understand what I'm saying, is like almost an extreme right party. And why they're going to have this rotation between them? And Mr. Lapid will be approximately 1.5 years, or maybe Bennett will start and be the next prime minister after Netanyahu, and will be the prime minister for 1.5 years. And then Mr. Lapid will take place, because they need the 61. So one of the conditions that Mr. Bennett, Naftali Bennett, gave to Mr. Lapid, he told him, listen, I'm willing to share with you the coalition. I'm willing to support your government, but I will be the next Israeli prime minister. I will be with you, even though, as I've mentioned, that's going to be like a circus government, because you're going to have so many different people sitting in the same government with a lot of disagreements, major issues facing now Israeli society. And yet, the will that everybody has that Bibi will step down is stronger than any disagreement that those people might have between them. And that's the reason Naftali Bennett, who's coming from the right-wingers parties in Israel, and Mr. Lapid, who's coming from the center-left part of the Israeli politics, will share the prime minister position. We call it here in Israel the Rak Lo Bibi coalition, which means we are willing to accept everything, any format, any coalition, but we want those parties, of course. And as you know, Israel is divided into 2 regarding this issue. So half of the Jewish people wants Bibi to continue, and as you can understand, because of the elections results, half of the Israeli population would like Bibi to step down, and they are willing to form this. The only thing that brings them together is the fact that they don't want to, they just want Bibi to step down. Are you with me?
Yes.
Here,
Where are you
Okay.
now?
Now, actually, I'm already out. You can see on the right side, I'm now outside of the old city, and I'm moving back to my car. I have a short walk and enjoy the Jerusalem sightseeing.
David, yashar koach.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yep.
I hope
Thank
it was
you.
interesting and a little bit maybe some emotions regarding Jerusalem,
Beautiful.
regarding the Western Wall, regarding the significance of this city in our life. This is amazing. See? 48. They broke the wall from here and they entered from here because the main gate was surrounded with heavy guns. So they broke in from here. Okay, and one last thing before we say Shabbat Shalom. As you all know, terror is a part of, unfortunately, our life in Israel, and especially our life in Jerusalem. So imagine this situation, a guy just walking like me in this alley, and what you can see here on the right side, Mr. Shlomo Cohen was just murdered here. He didn't do no harm, just walked home. פה נרצח שלמה כהן. So, as I said, part of life. And don't tell me if I'm scared to walk now here by myself, because I'm not. Okay? Because as I said, when you start to be afraid of terrorism, this is when terrorism is going to win. Oh, the siren. You hear the siren?
No,
No,
no.
Hey, the siren is the sign that Shabbat entered.
Thank you so much, David.
okay. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, David.
David,
Oh,
thank you. Wow, yashar koach. Wow.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Such a pleasure being with you. Sharing
Now I
with you.
hear it.
Oh, now you hear the siren. Good. So happy to share with you this tour, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Well,
Indeed. Shabbat
Thank you.
Shalom.
bye.
Bye.